everyone. Okay, so we are going to call to order Sumner County Library Bylaws Policies Committee meeting for December 11th, 2024. It is now 3:32 p.m. We'll call to order, and first we'll start off with a roll call.
Erica Brammer.
Jackie Wilbur.
Mike Ryan.
And Joanna Daniels. And Jeff Holcomb is not present, and he did let me know that he is not going to be able to be here today. So, but we have a majority, so we're good. All right, we're going to start off with the invocation, and Erica, would you like to do the invocation?
Lord, we want to thank you so much for today, and thank you for just yet another opportunity to come and go through things for our local libraries. And Lord, I pray that you will direct our words, direct our thoughts, help us do the business of cleaning up old information, and just let us be present with these documents. Lord, I pray that you will be glorified in all things, and we lift you up in your name. Amen.
We are going to move on to approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Mike. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jackie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right, and we're now going to move to approval of agenda passes. Recognition of the public. Anybody? No? Okay. Okay, all right, so no one has signed up to do that. Just in case of technical issues, I would like to record. You never know with technology.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so now we're going to move on to approval of the minutes. Everyone should have received these from, I don't know what it's 2023, but I keep putting 2023 in all these. I don't know if I want to go backwards and just be like, hey.
Maybe that year just passed by too quickly.
Yes, so it was on the minutes correctly, but on the agenda it's written incorrectly, so I apologize. So library committee minutes for November 6th, 2024. You received this in your email. And do you need a copy of these, Mike?
I didn't print them, I guess, unless we
They were
put it
in
here.
the, they were.
Okay, yeah, right, I got them here. Okay. Is that what I have?
No, they're right there. Lift up your agenda, lift up your agenda.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Did I get everybody's names correctly on here?
I was through Friday. I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So I moved it to be accepted.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Erica. Second by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, wonderful. All right, so we are going to move on to new business. We are going to begin with the mission statement. And so we will open the mission statement up for discussion. I personally would like to move this to old business for the next meeting, and only because there's a lot that goes into the mission statement, and Jim can't be here, and I know that you had told me that you have to leave early, and so so anyway, so there's a lot that goes into this. I've toiled over this a lot. I do have some input, but I kind of felt like this might be something that we could even talk about back and forth via email, and then maybe bring to the next meeting. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's good.
I agree. I actually was going to suggest the same thing because I've looked at some others but I haven't gotten to sit down and really piece words together of what I'd like to, what I'd like to present. I think mission statements are pretty powerful, and I do think this needs some work. I agree. I would like more time personally.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so, entertain a motion to move to old business.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, all right. Responsibilities of the library board. So with this one, we'll open up for discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. I actually did a lot of work on this one, and I've given you all a copy of the draft policies. I gave that to you the last November 6th meeting. And I actually drew from the rough draft policy. I liked a lot of what's in there, but I did change it pretty extensively. Not extensively, I apologize. It's a bad word. Bad phrasing, but I have it on my computer. Let me bring that to you. I did wrong. But you guys, did anybody look up any drafts on this?
No, I thought that what's here is a good start. I think that it needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, but I did not do it.
So, let me read to you what I came up with. So, responsibilities of the library board. So, what you guys.
Is that a draft that, I meant to bring it, I didn't bring that big, it's the bigger one.
Correct.
Yeah, because I've read through it.
It shows that everything is underneath. How long ago? All they did was just that. Okay, responsibilities of the library board. So this is, I actually have two of these. Do you?
I've got them.
You got them? Okay.
Yeah.
Just if I can get these back. So here is,
Do you know what this is, right?
Mhm.
so,
So is that in here?
yep. So what you're going, I'll give this to you in just one second. Mike. So, okay. So it's going to be under, if you look at the front where it says,
Oh, yeah.
responsibilities of library board.
Is it page 3, item B? On the in the big
And
document?
the big one
Yeah.
is,
Page 3, is it page?
Item B.
okay, yeah.
Do
Alright, so, just so that you can see what I did.
you have them?
Okay. So, I changed it to, you're gonna do it before page 2 actually. bylaws of the Sumner County Board of Trustees.
Mhm.
I took that out and put responsibilities of the library board, okay? So, and I wrote Article 1, name and authority. And then, the thing I changed here is it says authority, and it says, the board exists and operates by virtue of Tennessee Code annotated 10.3.104. So I put that in there. And I just left it at that.
What was this one that was your reference before, Gina?
So that is, I'm not sure why they did that. It says established maintenance and joint operation. So it basically talks about how the library board is created by the city and the county. But seeing as how, and that could be because it was bylaws of the Sumner County Library Board. But what I didn't understand why I put that, but I put 10.3.104 is the powers and duties of the library board. It's 10.3.104. It's literally the powers and duties of the library board. Does that make sense? So that's why I said 10.3.104.
And so is anything changed after that?
It's a period, and everything else is taken away. Article 2, the objective, I did change that, kind of, it says, this is what I wrote. The board shall execute all of the duties and powers as stated in 10-3, should be TCA. 10-3-104. The board shall be responsible for employing and, if necessary, to terminate library directors. And you'll see, if you look at the other group, we're going to say rough draft and enforced. Okay, because there's either one.
So the bigger print is in.
The bigger print is enforced. That's what's already in play.
Yes,
And rough draft is the larger one. So, because it has stated to hire and, if necessary, fire library directors. So I just put in here, shall be responsible for employing and, if necessary, to terminate library directors. The board shall create and enforce policies and regulations for all the affairs of the
And
library.
this is under objectives.
Sure.
Okay.
And the reason I put in regulations is because in the TCA code, it says regulations. It says, policies and regulations. So I decided, that's why I'm letting you guys know.
It's just trying to put the wordage all together so that this is.
It reflects the TCA code and correct.
And so we would need to also change in the enforce, to hire and, if necessary.
Well, this is,
But I'm saying it would be good for us to keep that same wordage, just so it's all the same, right?
well, what I'm saying is I'm marrying this to this.
Make it the PCA.
So this would be
Language.
correct.
Yeah.
So I'm marrying some of this, the enforced into the rough draft.
And I was just saying, the terminology, you would use terminate instead of hire.
Correct.
That's all.
Okay, yes, sorry, I apologize. I didn't understand what you were asking, I apologize. So, I just thought terminate is better than fire. And then I put, the board member shall uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Tennessee Constitution. And then it goes into Article 3, members. And I took all of that out as far as the Gallatin, Portland,
Because this was based off the system concept too at the time, wasn't it?
No, it's always been that way in the
Oh, it always
bylaws.
has, okay.
And it's still in our bylaws
It's in our bylaws.
that way.
Yeah.
So what this is actually a copy of the bylaws that they have just inserted into policy. These are the old ones. And we have new ones that have superseded these. So it's still there. It just doesn't necessarily have to be in the policies. It's in the bylaws.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
this rough
Yeah.
draft is from when was this?
2019.
It was just never, cleaned up and implemented, it was.
It was reworded, because if you read through there, it says executive director, so it was actually 21 when it was reworded
Oh, okay.
to make it, fit executive director. So everywhere it says executive director, you actually mean library director, the individual library director.
Yeah, and which
Yeah.
I did change that in
Mhm.
this one, yeah. And so, so under board members, I just put, the board shall be composed of members who are residents of Sumner County and appointed and approved by the Sumner County Board of Commissioners. So I took all of that other stuff out. And in terms, I put, so you'll want to go to the next page under terms. The term of office for the regularly appointed board member shall be in compliance. This one I put with TCA code 10-3-103, which is the TCA code for the terms.
So you just added that one, just to be specific to the TCA?
Yep, so I took out 2, 3, and 4, because again, you don't need to put it all in there, because if the TCA code changes, they're gonna have to go in and rewrite all the policies, this policy again, does that make sense?
You just say TCA.
So I just put TCA 10-3-103. Okay. And then this is where I really married the responsibilities of the library, the large print, with this. And I put the duties of the board are as follows. 1, attend regular, special, and assigned committee meetings of the board. I put may annually evaluate the library directors. Because, and the reason I put may is because it is not in law that we have to annually evaluate the library directors. And so I didn't want to put in a policy that it's permanent, you know what I mean? Or if it's not in statute, I didn't want to put it in a policy. Shall formulate policies and regulations for all the affairs of the library is 3.
Say that again.
Shall formulate policies and regulations for all the affairs of the library. Um, 4, work to secure adequate funding for the operation of the library, and shall approve the annual budget and present them.
The second part of 3, they just got changed. The regulation, the funding,
Yeah. So,
because it became a separate one.
yes, I felt that formulating policies and regulations should be separate than funding. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because there's actually 10 duties, whereas this one only has 8. Yeah.
So, and they were probably saying null in here, it's just a lot of ends. So what was the wording of 4 again? Just like,
No, work to secure adequate funding of the library, maybe I should put libraries. Libraries. And shall approve the annual budget and present them to the county. Because as you can see on here,
it's on here, it's on the top,
yeah,
number 2.
be responsible for the county budget submitted to the county. Be responsible for the annual budget submitted to the county. And even in this one, it was saying that we had to approve adequate funding for that.
Here.
Yeah. So, and I've talked with Cecilia numerous times on this, and that it is really the responsibility of the board to present the budget to the county commissioners.
That was in our training.
Yep. Okay, 5, provide an extraordinary appeal to consider issues the library director cannot address. The library directors.
I'm sorry, when you hear it says canon. That was fun. Yes, how you have it worded.
Yeah. Okay. Number 6 would be shall participate in the planning, goals and priorities of the library. 7 would be maintain good relations with the local government and promote the library's governmental organization flourish. 8, continually promote the library in the community and explain policies and services whenever called upon. 9, approve any fundraising activity by an individual, group, or organization proposed to be done in the name of or for the benefit of the public library. And then number 10, I put, this is not an exhaustive list of the duties, and the board may take on more duties as it deems necessary. And then C, I kept the compensation.
I think that came out a lot.
And so if you see, this was married to the rough draft, and then the rough draft actually had approved any fundraising activity by an individual that wasn't on this one already. So it seems like they were already wanting to do that. Any thoughts on that? Anything that you feel needs to be added or taken away? Jeff, you've been obviously on the board a lot longer than all of us.
With the fundraising, is there a TCA that covers the 501c3s? We might have to say in accordance with working with a nonprofit status or something like that, or is that to be understood?
Can you repeat that?
A lot of your fundraising groups are separate entities, and they operate under is it 501c3? So they're operating under a set of bylaws and a set of laws and a set of rules. So ours need to, whatever we look at needs to mirror the fact that they're operating under a set of laws as well. Is there a way?
The library? So,
just in compliance with whatever the laws is, in compliance with whatever the laws that cover 501c3.
Is there a TCA law that talks about fundraising for libraries necessarily?
not that I know of, and I don't, so, and I could be wrong, I can definitely ask.
And I don't, I'm just asking.
I
Yeah.
didn't, because I've been looking at the fundraising for libraries, and I know it says that we, as a board, can't actually do a fundraiser. So that's something that I've been trying to, there's crazy fundraising on that. But,
There's a fundraising part?
yeah, and then accept donations, so there's a really big gray area on that. So, but,
Which that would be closer to, that would, to me, that logically makes sense, because it comes under the promoting the library and the community and explaining policies and services. So if we're doing that, and we're supporting, we're explaining or being around or making aware of, to me, that would be an easy, logical thing that we could raise for certain services or certain things. So it's cool that that is an aspect of it.
yeah, And I think, so, I just wanna clarify,
And maybe
so
it's just,
like
if
an
it,
organization that's not a nonprofit
Yeah.
can hold a fundraiser for the library. I mean, that should be able to be allowed, cause like.
so that's just understood, that we're gonna go, I mean, they're gonna follow their guidelines, and we're gonna respect that, right?
And we're gonna accept.
Well,
that.
Yeah,
They're they're going to function under those rules as their
as a,
group.
yeah,
But when it comes to, if it's for the library, it still becomes our responsibility of overseeing that. I don't think there's a conflict in that, of the 501, C3, I'm wanting to say C3, they're going to have to do what they're, like, stay under their
so,
rules. They're
you're
trying to-
answering my, you're saying that is understood,
But-
we don't have to put it
But
down.
we still have to make sure that still is in accordance to, because we are overseeing the library, we have to make sure that what they're doing still comes under
Yeah,
the guidance
there
of,
could be a situation where they're not compliant with our
Mhm.
rules.
And I think that's why we have to actually prove it. And I think that when we create the fundraising policy, we could define that more.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think, but great question. So I think, but yeah, I think that when we create the fundraising, that can be a.
It's gonna come
here's
up.
how much.
Yeah, because I think that your EMTs operate in a kind of that way, you know, other places, other groups
Yeah.
operate that same way where they, you know, you have to look at both sets of rules.
Sure,
So here's what my thoughts would be, like, even in if a church or in another group does that for a school, the school would have to still okay whatever is going on
Yeah.
with this incoming group.
Which
I
I
mean,
think
like,
will
it
be
was
handled in
the
the
same-
fundraising policy.
Yeah, so I think that would be more specific.
Yeah, that's fine, totally good. Great question. Okay, so anything that we feel that we need to add or subtract from that?
That was pretty much the same that was there, but just getting it,
Just rewording it.
getting it nice and neatly. The thing I didn't like about this is that it's a little jumbled, like where things are, it feels like somebody's like, oh, what do? We do this, we do that, and it's just kind of thrown in.
Yeah.
The enforcement, I like the order, and I like the wording of that, and all you do is just clean it out and separate some of them. So I guess
Anything to add, clarify? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to accept, this responsibilities of the library board policies and to move on to the board for approval.
So moved.
Moved by Mike, have a second.
second.
Second by Erica. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to the book signing policy. Did anybody do some work on that that they would like to add?
Actually, that's how it was, I didn't go further on that one.
Yeah, it's the same.
Where it is.
I did add on to this one because the book signing policy in the draft was basically the book signing policies and the enforced ones.
I couldn't find it in the draft. You know what page it is?
It's way further back, I think it's
Yeah.
part 4. I think your, article.
What page, is there a page number?
No, because they didn't page number it in the,
There are a lot of pages going on.
there's a lot of, there's like
Gotta
50
fix
pages.
that.
Those are both signing, section 4.01.
Yeah, so it's pretty far back. But if you guys, it's literally the exact same thing as this. It's literally the exact same thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying, but
Okay.
okay, so first of all, motion to open for discussion of book signing policy.
So moved.
Becky, and then.
I'll second. He
Okay,
made the
okay.
motion, I'll just second.
Okay, Mike, and Jackie, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? perspective, of course. So, and the reason I did is because I love
It's on
supporting,
page 38.
Yeah.
I love supporting local authors, but I really believe that we should be able to allow for other authors to come in. So this is what I wrote, okay? And this is, in response, Jackie was to the whole Kirk Cameron event. So, the Sumner County Libraries, in an effort to support community literacy, allow authors to hold book signings in their facilities. The author will need to fill out the facility usage application and agreement. Since the book signing is open to the public and the books must not violate the material harmful to minors policy. The book signing event shall be communicated via email to the board before it is approved by the library director. If there is a written objection by a majority of the present board members, then the book signing will not be able to charging is temporarily given, and authors may sell their books while present. The author may sell other books in their collection if materials harmful to minors policy. In order to have a book signing at the Sumner County Library, the author must donate a free copy of their book to all libraries. Those are all the changes I made.
To all the libraries, not to that library, but all that.
I think it's okay.
We're taking care of everybody.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
And I just think that, I just think it would be a great, opportunity to have all the libraries, have it. So, and that way, we're opening it up to not just local authors, but
Anybody that
anybody.
Yeah.
Is responsible for all affairs of the libraries. I really feel that, they don't have to get a board vote from us, but if a majority of the board disagrees via email, via written, that it won't be approved. That way we don't get into
I think what you added is fine.
I think what you said should be a given for the fact that it's been writing is a healthy way of,
For sure.
that is what bylaws and policies do.
Well, I think it's setting a defined protocol,
Right.
Go ahead.
when they send it to us by email, like their stuff, I'm hoping it's not 248 pages that I have to read on email, or whatever. Just to, is there some way that we could avoid that, to send me a copy of your book by, and it's a novel, it would be hard to preview that probably in a short turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, is there a way we could depend on reviews or ratings or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I know that if it's an adult novel, we could possibly have the signage just not let the kids come,
Yeah.
or something like that. Or have it in the adult section where they don't usually, but I'm thinking if you're sending me a novel to preview, that's going to be hard to do.
Well,
And I don't know that any best-selling author is going to send me his novel to preview.
Right.
But, I'm thinking that's a lot.
well,
If it's a children's author, they're 32 to 38 pages. So that's not hard to preview. But, something else would be.
Yeah.
well, again, in our collection development policy, all books have to be that not in violation of a harmful to minors policy. And so if anybody is coming to promote their book, I don't feel that since it is a public area such as a public park or anything like that, it's open to the public, it cannot violate any laws that are in effect. So, so the person would have to be a book that children would be able to be there to hear, you know, otherwise. And I think that we have the authority to do that, especially since it's in our collection development policy. And, you know, as far as sending us a book to review, I don't want to put in a page on the whole time.
Yeah.
So of course we would have to go upon review or looking up and
Or if they send the title, you know.
Well, what we could do is the library director would have to send them a harmful, material harmful to minors policy and ask them, does your book violate any of this? And if it doesn't, then great. If they say it doesn't, then they can say, yeah, no, it doesn't violate that. And we would hope that they would be truthful with that.
Maybe it's not an affidavit that says, say that this doesn't violate your policy, sign the affidavit.
Okay. Yeah, we could put that in there to the author.
Legally binding document.
So the author will need to fill out the facility usage application agreement and sign
an affidavit for the
claiming,
stating that it does not.
Stating
that it does not prove. So another legal thing that would get them paused. Okay, I'm going to sign this. We could come back and say, you signed an affidavit, it violated the policy, or violated the affidavit, if it really wasn't true. Give them a little pause before they.
So then but the author will need to fill out the facility usage application agreement and sign an affidavit stating that the book does not violate the material harmful to minors policy in place in Sumner County.
Yep.
And then,
And then
so
the
then I
library
can take out
director
that
would have
next, I can take out that since the book signing is open to the public, the book does not violate, so I can take that out of there. And then just say, the book signing event shall be communicated via email to the board before it is approved by the library director. All promotional materials must be sent via email to the board before it is distributed to the public. If there is a written objection by the majority of the present board members, then the promotional materials will be changed and resent to the board. During the signing event, a waiver pardon is temporarily given, and authors may sell their books while present. The author may sell other books in their collection if the books do not violate the material harmful. In order to have a book signing at the Sumner County Library, the author must send a free copy of their book to all libraries. Thoughts?
No. I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the book signing policy and move it on to the board for approval. So moved by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any opposed? Okay. Now moving on to circulation policy. Entertain motion to open discussion for circulation policy.
So moved.
Erica. Oh, or Jackie.
I don't care. I'll second.
Between the two of us.
Okay. Erica and Jackie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No subject. Okay. All right, circulation policy. Okay, so I started working on this one, and I found out, so the circulation policies, and if you look at circulation policies and rough drafts, you had not seen them? Okay. Okay, that one. Just so I have it in front of me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, later.
Okay. So, the circulation policies,
Is section 3.0, I think.
yeah, it's pretty extensive, and there's stuff in there that I was like, in the rough draft one, I'm like, I don't even have any of this stuff. Yes, so we don't even have a lot of that stuff in there. Okay, so.
QC, it starts on page 15. It's like 4 or 5 pages long.
So,
It really is.
yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm like, oh my God, no, do that stuff. So, okay. All right. So, okay. That whole beginning, I did away with. Adopted principles of the American Library Association. I did away with all of that. So, the SCLS provides free and equal access to library materials and services to the Tennesseans of all ages. The library supports the individual's right to have access to ideas and information representing all points of view. That's, I mean,
Isn't that already? Maybe in the policy we have, maybe a different way, but it's already, because we did, it's, I think it's stated, that,
in the collection development policy.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why.
I think it's already there.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to cut and paste, or if it doesn't need to be here, it does, you know.
Well, it's
If
true.
it's there,
Yeah,
because it was all, we had that TCA, and we stated it, and we had to say 17 rather than 18, because that's
right.
it's in there, it's already in there somewhere,
So I just,
in the, policy, so.
yeah, so I believe
As
that.
long as it mirrors what the state of Tennessee says we have to have,
Mhm.
and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to you don't have to put it 5 different places.
Right.
It's there.
Yeah, so I'm like, so access to library materials on minors,
That's already there. I mean, you know,
We have all that.
it's all there.
in the, well, this one, I don't think is, and I did bring the collection development policy with me, because it is the policy of the Sumner County library system,
Mhm.
library, that
You know,
parents,
it's really
guardians,
funny there, because we're a system, we're just not the ones, you know, we're a system that consists of 5, we're still a system. We can't get away from that.
Right.
It's just
They could
what's in your,
individually function.
yeah, it's just what's in your mind as you define that.
yeah. So, so it is the policy of the Sumner County Libraries that parents or guardians, not the library staff, are responsible for monitoring and improving the selection of materials made by their children. It is the parents or guardians, and only these, who may restrict their children and only their children from access to library materials. So it is the parents or guardians, and only these, who may restrict their children from checking out, because there is, how do we write that?
Was that true with the?
Here we go.
With the minors, card, there is still a limitation of what they can check out now because everything on their own. Is that correct?
So what we can just do is take this out and take out, that and just say, it is the parents or guardians, not the library staff, who are responsible for monitoring and preparing materials their children check out from the library.
And that is very easy to do with the Atrium system.
Yeah.
All they have to do is tell you, you put the note in there, and if they try to check out a book their parents don't want them to, they get a bell, buzzer, whistle, and it alerts them. So it's an easy fix. It's very easy.
So as I just said, it is the parents or guardians, not the library staff, who are responsible
Right.
for monitoring and improving the materials their children check out from the library. But, actually, it would be, because it would have to be noted unless the parent or guardian is there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, is the parent or guardian responsible for monitoring and improving materials that children check out from the library?
I don't like the way this is written.
No.
I like, because we do have a program that allows the minor, the adult versus minor card. That has nothing to do with, like, that's just how that's set up. And then, but then there is, we do have it available where parents can, note with the, you know, with the front desk what, limitations they limit, but this is just weird. I don't like the way it's worded. It's really very wordy and very odd. So, I mean, it is their response. I do like the, I do like the first sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we could put in parentheses where it says, you know, parents may notify the front desk, you know, of limitations or whatever,
Why don't we
it's
just,
just very floaty.
why don't we just go down here and take out access to materials on minors and take that whole thing out? Because then underneath it is registration issuance of library cards, adult library cards and child library cards. Why don't we just put in there? You know, because I'm like, well, I don't even understand that whole.
What's the purpose
It's
of
not-
putting it in
Yeah,
here?
it's not even.
And this was pre
Minor,
Mhm.
yeah,
the law, this was written before the law.
correct.
Right.
So,
I was gonna take that out.
you know, whatever the law is,
And this,
uh,
this section needs extreme revision is because
yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
written in it.
It's like right there in a big
This is
red.
Yeah.
it became anything official.
Yeah. Okay, so adult library card. So, an adult applicant over the age of 17 is eligible for a library card free of charge for 1 year upon, but that's only for computers, though. Remember, we put in the collection, it's only under internet access from computer, because as far as books, 18, but the internet, so. So, oh, okay. An adult applicant, because in our collection development policy, we say for books, it's,
Well, over the age of 17 means 18.
yeah, so.
You know, I don't know why
I'm thinking.
I don't know why it's there. Yeah. I don't know why it's there, but an adult applicant, well, they're 18, so you could take that whole thing out and it's not necessary.
So an adult applicant, well, no, we have to, because computers.
Oh.
Do you mind if I suspend the rules, and ask Anita a question?
I don't know.
Okay, motion
So moved.
And I'm second, and it's okay, yeah.
Aye.
All opposed?
So as you remember in the section development policy, we did go over this because, computer internet is 17 and over, but books are 18 and over. So when you're issuing a library card, how right now do you handle the 18 for library card, but 17 allowed for computer usage?
If they're going to get on a computer and everything, there's actually another form that they can fill out and everything, and that shows that they're 17, and they can get on the computer.
Okay,
So the library card is
Still at 18.
for 18, yeah.
okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, all right, motion to move back to consent.
Okay.
Okay, Jackie, Erica.
But,
Oh, yeah.
I was just coming between you and me.
I know.
Okay, so, eligible for a library card free of charge for 1 year upon making proper application. Do we have to do this 1 year? Can we do, like, for adults, can we do it, well,
2.
yeah, I would
Okay.
say at least 2.
And the computer,
I have a question though, can we do more than 2 for adults? And why do we have, I can understand for a minor,
yeah.
but honestly, why are we having to do the application more than, okay, so,
Well, I just know on my library card, as an adult, you know, on mine, I don't have to reapply. But I can go by, here's my library card, scan it, and it gives me another year, or a 2 year. You know, I mean, it's done on the computer. I don't have to go in and reapply every time I want to renew my library card. And that was with the TLC system as well as the one they've got now. I went in the other day and I said, I think it's about time, and we just did it. Yeah. So see, this is outdated because you really don't have to do that anymore.
Sure, Anita, raise your hand, do you mind if I?
No, I don't mind at all.
So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
The only reason we set it for a 2-year expiration date and everything is to verify their current address. Because if they've taken our books out and we need to get in touch with them by email, phone number, send them a letter, something like that, and they moved 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we don't have a new address or anything. So it's basically more or less just keeping in touch with them and keeping a correct on-file address.
Okay, so the
So
2
they
years.
don't have to reapply, they just need to show us that their address is still correct.
Okay,
And their
so,
phone number and their email and everything, yeah.
so you
So
like.
it's more of just an alert for us
Sure.
to keep in touch with them and make sure everybody's still, yeah. You'd be surprised how many times somebody comes every week, but then as soon as something needs to be mailed to them or called them or whatever, oh yeah, I moved 6 months ago.
Okay.
You know, so it's just a way of constantly keeping up to date.
And the only reason I was saying why 2 years even is because I just felt it was more work for you guys, but I can understand where you're coming from. Okay, so, and 2 years is working for you? Okay, okay. All right, we'll move to discussion.
I'll
Okay.
make that and bring it back.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Mhm.
Okay, so 2 year. For 2 years, upon making proper application, full access adult cards may check out any circulating materials owned by the Sumner County Library. And use the computers for 1 hour with possible extension. A non-expired government-issued ID, photo ID, and the applicant's current address may be presented at the time of the application. Photo you left the current address, the current official document, different name and address. 6 months, 3 months, 3 days, you reflect the different name and address is required. The PO box address may be used as a secondary mailing address that is not accepted as address verification. Okay. Child library cards starting from birth. Woo-hoo, that's a great title. A child may.
That's workbook.
Yeah.
Reading.
Yeah, Friday a month, there you go. A child may have a child library card. The child must be accompanied by a parent. Oh my goodness.
You're still picturing the front row.
Yes, I know, our son's moving from two.
Dolly mails them to you from month one.
Let's go. For materials checked out on the card, proof of residence and valid ID by the parent or guardian concerning the application. The child must be in attendance and the parent or guardian to receive or renew the card. Guests ages 16 or older with a valid driver's license are not required to have the parent or guardian. Child library. Please note the access to library minors policy and prices are not under the age of 18. I would say it's under the age of. Or I would say under the age of 16, because the child, because the parent has to be.
You take that in line with the guest ages, 16 over, you know, you would at least line it up with that previous sentence. There's just a lot of kids that have to do a lot of schoolwork, and I mean, sometimes they.
Yeah, your middle school kids
Yeah.
that are working on a project are 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it says an adult, so if the parent's not there, a library employee has to be that adult. It doesn't say the parent. So,
Well, then
you
we
know.
should put, so here's, okay. Here's my know that there's been a few problems. It is people dropping off their children and then right at the time, there being an issue at the library. Too many folders going on here. Okay, give me 1 second while I pull up our. Let me pull up our,
No matter how we say that sentence, it's odd to me that the limits of child cards are for, actually, that's not true. Child cards are also for access and free to check out any. See, that's not true either, that sentence is out. It's not,
sorry.
so, this is out.
Yes, that's allowed, yes. Okay.
That was weird that it's in that
So,
spot. You saw that, right, that you.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So we have to change it to 2 hours. So card holders may use the computers for a single 2-hour session per day. So when you go up there, we got to change it to 2 hours. Again, half users may use the computer for, how can you single 2-hour session per day? Just half users may use the computer for, oh, okay, yes. So these.
You're ahead.
Yeah, so that's the next section. There is a whole section for that.
Yes, well, I'm looking at the computer use and internet safety, that we already have in place, so we have just put in there for 1 hour, but up at the top where it says, remember,
Yeah.
current document assessment, that computer use for 1 hour, it's actually, we have it here for 2 hours.
Oh, in that policy that's already in,
Policy that we already have in place.
okay, so,
2 hours.
Third line right there.
so we can change that without,
2 hours. Yep.
and that just
That's just.
gets it in line
That
with,
reflects it.
Yeah.
Yep. Downloading anything computer, there's a charge for something, no one sign on to practical. Okay,
What does that say? Our internet.
it just says, age 17 is considered adult according to the Children's Internet Protection Act. Generation required to determine the age of the guest. Downloading anything to computers, hard drives is strictly prohibited. It doesn't say anything about 13 and under, 16 and under, or anything. And I don't see anything.
I mean, that line does not have to be in here because it will be cut, but we do need to cover it. We do need to make sure that policy, the internet policy information, but this is just about child library cards, so unless we're just letting that be known in the middle of that, because then the next sentence is we can endorse responsible for the I mean, like it's just kind of a random statement other than explaining what the child library cards are.
So, okay, I would feel better if this, if under the age of 13, the child must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. Because I don't want to put that on the responsibility and workload of the employees.
And so, by an adult.
By a parent or guardian when using the computers.
What if, functionally, I think, I know that I had to use my library a lot, way back when, but I had to use it a lot for different things. I'm just curious about what happens when somebody doesn't have, what if a young kid who she was responsible for trying to do schoolwork, that is in middle school, needs to print out something and the parents are working. That's what I'm thinking through. Because I hear the workload and when they are dropped off, it does suddenly become, have an oversight spot. Where somebody's having to oversee and watch for, in that area. There are some libraries that are set up better where there is a person who's readily available that's an adult that can oversee. And then there are other of our libraries that are not easily, doesn't have somebody to like there. I hear the need for it, and I also hear the practical need for it from parents who are working, the parents, I was seeing one family, in Tennessee. Mom was working, I had to get there, I had an adult that could bring me there, but my mom couldn't be there, and that person was in a, legal guardian.
So then can we put an adult, not library staff? Again, I want to protect the liability and the staff, because,
And an adult who is, I don't know.
because it's like, I know that, because I take my nieces and nephews to the library. So I think an adult, but, not the responsibility of library staff. How to do that, so, or do you think it's just understood?
Because they can, that now get, even if it just says by an adult and it's just understood, it literally is something that they can say, I'm sorry, you're going to need to stay with her, or, that kind of thing. It gives the library staff something to work with, that they can point at
if you said a responsible designated adult, then if the library staff had a chance to be that person, they could. But if they don't, they can say, I'm sorry.
Because sometimes,
They could designate themselves. With your teens, if they come for a teen program, and then they want to stay to do homework or do some research on the library, and mom's not, or they get through early and mom's not there, right there, you could have an adult that's a designated responsible adult. If the staff wanted to do that, they could. If not, they could say, I'm sorry, but let's wait till your mom comes to pick you up and let her come in.
So my
what was the wording you said?
Designated responsible adult.
The only problem that I see that is, if the child looks at something and the parent with what the library employee allowed my child to do, we're now liable. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Anyone other than library employee. Or, oh, you know what? We could do this. I'm gonna open up again to ask you that question.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to open up.
I'll stay.
Okay.
Whatever.
So,
we're good.
Second,
So I hope you can hear where I'm coming from. And my mom was a single parent of four. But my mom, she actually went there a lot. She got her GED through the library. But anyways, the whole liability too, we don't want anybody to be, especially in this wonderful world of web, to be held liable and for anybody to get in trouble. What do you, because I don't see anything in our policies. You guys have a place for this? You guys, what are you doing, if anything?
With respect to what?
For someone 13 and younger or under the age of 17 wanting to use the license.
The one thing you need is to remember and consider that our wonderful IT department here in Sumner County and everything has filters on every single one of our public computers. There's nothing that they can get into that would be outside of what would be allowed and everything, unless they know how to hack. If they know how to hack, then they're way beyond my realm or whatever. So, the way it is written right now, if you are 8 and under, then you do have to have a parent actually sit beside you the entire time you're on the computer. If you are above 9 to 13 or whatever, then you are allowed to be on a computer without a parent, as long as the parent has signed the internet agreement policy. And that literally is like 20 initials on every single line that says, if they do this, I understand. If they do this, I understand. But literally 20 to 25 initials that they have to, and then they sign it at the bottom. So they have to have that on file also for them to be able to sit there and use the computer. So.
I'm just curious, because in the policies that we have that's supposedly enforced, none of that is in there. Is this something that you guys just created and put
I don't know
together?
what book you have or what I mean, I have a binder about this thick that sits right beside my desk that has all of this stuff in it. Perhaps went through 8 or something like that has all of this stuff in it and everything. The draft, and just to throw this in there while I'm on the floor, the draft that you guys are looking at was something that was started by the executive director back when that was done. It is the very, 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 very beginning of what was to be the policies and bylaws and everything. So even looking at what you guys are looking at was nowhere even near ready to be put hands on.
Sure.
So just that's understanding too and everything that this is, was never see.
Yes.
We actually had started, as the director that started it, to send to the policy committee once, that was done and everything. So,
Okay.
We're grateful for what it is.
Yes. Absolutely.
And like you said, it's about 50 pages, and it was broken up between all 5 of us, and we were, everyone was taking sections and everything. But to go back to just the example that you gave of if a middle school child comes in and needs to do homework or needs to print something off, you have to remember you're dealing with some of the most dedicated, self-serving clerks, employees, and everything. All they want to do is make sure that child gets their work done. So if it was me or any of my people and everything, they would probably pull up on their own computer, the staff computer, what the child needs so that they wouldn't even see it to begin with, so that they could look at it, see what it is, and then print it around, see if this is what you need to print. Yes, it is. Okay, fine, we'll get it printed for you. I mean, we find the way to help the child get their homework done. That's
correct.
The main thing, yes.
Yeah, and I think that we definitely would think you would, again, we're just, it's our responsibility to protect you guys.
I understand, yeah.
So we're just making sure you are protected. So, okay.
Just understand too, in the course of that protection, sometimes, I'm not saying you, it sometimes makes it harder. Just
Because more limitations.
Yeah. And understand that protection is probably more important because, especially in the volatile that we are, we would rather protect you.
I would love to see our policies reflecting, how you're functioning. That sounds like a fairly healthy, way of doing that. Sounds like it's been tried and true, and I'm glad to hear the extremes of the protections too. So, but I would love to see our policies be more of a reflection of that, so that it is just easy to see.
And if these were created in 2021, which it said, I thought there was 2019 on here, but I've seen so many dates.
But I know that
Yeah,
it wasn't until 2021, we had the executive director, so
Sure.
she started this after that. So, but now there may have been a few.
2019.
There may have been. Yeah, we did.
Sure.
We were working on other policies and things like that in 17, 18, 19, before.
Sure. So my
That
question,
may reflect in that.
so my question to you, Anita, is being in 2021, was that 9 the ages that you were saying? 8 and below adult, 9 and above to 17. Was that in effect in 2021, or is that something that?
It's been in effect as long as I've been in the library.
So 8 and below with the parents sitting beside them, 9 to,
Whatever, yeah.
is with the documents, so that would be,
It's just strange that it's not reflected in
Yeah.
this.
yeah,
And yet,
just for clarification,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
like,
just trying to get clarification.
cleaning it up, you know.
we're one
Yeah.
congruency.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be. Okay, all right.
Because there are so many pieces and working documents, like trying to get these together so that they all reflect each other, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna bring back the session, okay?
All right, so then,
So move, Erica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to learn about.
Okay,
all right, okay.
Okay. All right, so, child must be in attendance, parents are in order to receive guest ages, license, parent, guardian, is under the age of 18. It's like,
It's 8 and under.
it's under, it's
Under 9 or 8 and under, however you want to say.
child, 8 years or younger. A child. Must be,
Parent or responsible adult.
must be accompanied by an adult. Okay. Must be accompanied by an adult when using the computers.
But invite you to have a
Lordy me. Okay. All right, so we're gonna open up, suspend Robert's rules, open up, all in favor, say aye. Okay.
Since we're being post precise and everything, I just want to make sure this is specifically for the public access computers. Because there are children computers that have only children programs on them. They are not connected to the internet at all, other than they have just computer children. So I want to make sure it doesn't include
And that's
that.
something important for that word.
Yeah. So it needs to
Public
say
access.
public access computers.
Public access computers. Okay. The public access computers. I'm just gonna leave it open until we finish this, okay? All right.
I'll try not to.
No, you're fine. Minors of the age 9 to 16 may access may use the public access computers as long, without an adult present, as long, as, only after the parent, after the signed, what is it?
Like the initial.
Computer access forms, what we just
After
call it,
the
yes.
signed, after the parent or legal guardian has signed the, say it again,
public access, or the.
Computer access.
Computer.
Access.
Form.
Computer access form. Computer access form.
Thank you for looking at that.
So let me read it.
I think it needs to be, flipped a little bit. Maybe initially, parents of children 9 to 16, or 9 through 16, need to fill out the form. And then they don't have an adult present at the.
The only reason I started it is because it says a child of 8 years or younger must be accompanied by an adult when using the public access computers. Then I went ahead to the minors, between the ages of 9 to 16. Ages of 9 to 16 may use the public access computers without an adult present only after the parent or legal guardian has signed the computer access form.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then legal guardians are responsible for books checked out to their minor children. Okay. Can we beat this?
That horse died 20 minutes ago.
Okay. All right, okay, so bring us back into session.
Okay, I'll have to make the motion.
Okay, all right. I'll give it that, yes, okay. All right, okay, so I think we're good. The guest pass may be issued to any guest regardless of residence for the purpose of using library computer services, yes. You must show a valid ID. The card is valid for 1 day, is non-renewable, cannot be used for any purpose other than computer services. All internet use restrictions, including time limits, apply for this card. So, I don't like the 1 day thing, because like, why don't we do, why just 1 day? I don't know. So,
Well, here's my thought. If somebody's visiting the area, say they're hanging out with the area, and they are homeschoolers or something, and they need to do something with the computer, and they could do the 1 day. And that way it doesn't bog down the system of doing another card. We've talked about cards before because of, the policy we just made about,
notary.
So what we learned in there, they were saying it's not beneficial to have to sign somebody up through the whole process. If it's only for a day, it's only for that one time. But, then they'd be more likely to sign up multiple. That way, the guest pass being 1 day, if it's more than 1 day, they just sign up for a card. But 1 day if they are only there for 1 day, they would not need to bog down the system, is what they told us when we were talking about notary. My understanding.
And then,
There's information that maybe,
somebody
nearby.
Yeah, but hold on 1 second, because I know there's something on here, it says, where's the guest pass? And I was
It's halfway down the page 16. It doesn't help you, but.
No, and person no more education, no, it's on the internet, I'm testing.
Those are from out of town.
Computer use, here we go.
In
In order to use library computers, one must possess a valid library card understanding or may present identification to a guest pass. Use of computers is on a first-come, first-served basis. Card holders may use the computers for a single 2-hour. Guest pass users may use the computers for a single 1-hour-long session per day. These time limits are set so all library patrons seeking access will have the opportunity. All patrons may request guest passes for additional sessions as computer availability allows. So it's already in our computer use and internet.
Oh, those other ones.
So we can just scratch it.
So we can just scratch that because just put guest pass may be issued in accordance to computer use and internet safety policy.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. Guest pass, services using library computer, in accordance, la, la, la. According to consider policy, they is all internet usage okay. According with okay. Off-site issuance, library card, outreach, library staff may issue library cards off-site. The application will need to meet the same identification address as stated above, as well as authorization of the parent of the guardian, without approval of the applicant. Needs to meet the same identification as the current, family member, blah, blah, blah. Okay, name. Community organization, library cards, eligible organizations to for a community organization card in the library. Director's discretion, you can see state. This probably comes to library on their own. Okay, total number of items, for checkout. What is
Is this specific to a community organization?
Okay.
Is this something different
Yeah.
for that reason? Yeah, this is
Yeah,
just
this is
specific
for
to
the
community.
community library.
Mhm.
Okay, that's right.
That's what,
Because I worked on the other one below.
yeah.
The circulation policy, checking out materials, because that's really what I do a lot on. Okay, so, total number of items for organization for checkout. So for the normal checking out materials, I put, checkout up to 25 items. So with these organizations, what do you think?
No, that's too many.
No, for a normal library card, not for the community organization library card, no.
Oh, are we on the next page then?
We're on community organization library card.
Okay.
Well, 16 is
Okay.
community organization.
Total number of items per organization for checkout.
So I would love to be done here by 5:30, so what I'm
I
gonna
mean,
do.
I've got to leave at
Yeah,
5:30.
so what I would love to do, if you guys are okay with it.
Or before.
Sit there and hold until we're done, and then that way we're gonna keep opening. until-
Okay, yeah. Why would you come on?
That's what I would just love.
Yeah.
You're fine, you're fine. So, okay, so we're gonna suspend the rules until we're done, until it comes to adjournment, so that we can stop spending and opening.
Mhm.
So, all right, suspend the rules until we're done to adjournment. I'll entertain that motion,
I'll make the motion.
okay? Erica, and all in favor of that, okay?
Aye.
So Anita, total number of items per organization for the checkout. What are your thoughts?
For an organizational card?
Yeah.
Organizational
So
library
this
card.
would include daycares, assisted living centers, healthcare centers, and other institutions that serve people who may have difficulty coming to the library on their own.
I don't feel like I can answer for all these libraries because I don't know their extent, do they use that or not. In Portland, we do not have any organizational cards. So that's just in general. Now, from my experience as a librarian and being with the system for so long and everything, yes, I would say 25 to 30, 35, something like that would be appropriate.
For the organizational.
For the organization, yes.
That's a lot, okay, all right, so
But you're
25.
dealing with,
And I would think you would be
Daycare,
more than
children.
individual because it is opening.
Sure.
Now,
And
like the individual being
The organization becomes responsible,
Yeah.
not the
we're
individual.
not talking individuals, I'm not talking about an adult who walks in, or,
Sure.
yeah, I'm just talking about an organization.
Well, so I had put for individual 25, and I think organization 25, I think keeping it congruent would be good.
Here's my
also that depends on the number of the collection. Hendersonville could do that. Westmoreland maybe couldn't have that many books leave the library at one time. Do you guys?
But this is gonna have to be something that's gonna have to be across. So we could put, the total number of items per organization for checkout is, let's put 25, number of DVDs, 5, and then what we could put after that is, higher numbers can be checked out per the discretion of the library director.
Well, yeah, somewhere it does say that it is at the discretion of the library director.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Higher, higher numbers
With approval.
can be obtained at the discretion of the library director. Cool.
I like that.
And just, you know, and if you can't do it, it's up, I mean, and the bottom line is it's up to the discretion of the library director.
Number of days allowed for checkout, I actually changed this to 3 weeks. I think the 2 weeks is too long. 3 checkout period with the optional renewal for books. Fine policy, normal fine and damage, both policies apply. Organizational director, owner of organization responsible for all fines to be charged, recap. If the director has the option to discontinue the card, organization director, owner is responsible for a name designated to use the card at the library. The Sumner County will not deliver or select books for the organization or institution. Okay?
I think that sounds fair to what
Do
you
you
have.
have the organization, we're not
That's
talking
just
about
organization.
No, and then I do want to add in there, 6, the organization will be, shall be, well, I guess it,
Didn't share that train of thought.
so, I was trying to get the, minors, but it's like it's an adult, so that should be fine. My only thing is making sure that, harmful isn't checked out by an organization and distributed to children. Does that make sense?
The organization shall abide by
Yeah.
the policy,
Yeah.
the whatever, the harmful materials policy.
Yeah, the organization shall abide by the harmful to minors. Harmful materials.
And then that leads us to, there is this agreement that they have to sign. We probably should put that on our list where they have to initial that, so.
Okay, designated user, I have read the document, ownership, all the policies stated therein. I think that it's right there.
That covers
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Signed, approved institutional content. Okay. Expiration dates and renewal of library cards, yes, you may be requested to provide.
That needs to be SBL.
Guests may be requested to provide photo ID when renewing library card. All library cards are valid for 1 calendar year with a pin.
Number. Can you do an official?
Yeah. Okay. Locked and replaced library guests are responsible for any resources checked out. Locked and missing cards, guests are responsible for no similar cards lost stolen. Library will put a block on the account so additional details cannot be checked. Library customers are responsible for materials checked out. Lost or stolen cards that have not been reported are Well, I actually believe in, I think after the second replacement card, there should be a charge.
Yeah, if it's, but she's like, what do you call
Yeah.
Always so loving and kind.
Yeah, but but because of the notary, remember she said that it costs money to create a card.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if it's gonna cost money to create a card, and we chose not to do a card for a notary, then I think that if after the second time, that there should be a charge. That's my opinion.
I think that's a fair shake, and then it can be to the discretion of, but, I mean, like, because I know I even had mine stolen, my whole wallet stolen, and I was like,
Well, stolen, I think a
well,
lost,
shut up, Bree, and talk to you about this stuff, it was stolen.
well, I think that lost is separate from stolen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, and how much does it cost again to create a card? Is it like $1 or something?
You mean the friend card?
Yeah.
I just had 1,000 done for
I think $1. I mean, that'd be fine, don't you think? Or we could do 50 cents.
So if it
No,
reads,
I wouldn't do quarters.
if it reads
I'd keep it round.
Okay.
Yeah. a second replacement card.
Yes, a second or a third.
Okay, a third, you're gonna give them 2 chances.
Yeah, because
Okay.
after the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, third.
But do you think of your wording, if it's after the second card, is it just after the first replacement, or is it after a second replacement? So it'd be third. You just gotta,
After a second replacement. I gotcha.
that would be your fourth card, so that's not bad.
Second, you're right, second replacement card.
It's a lot of great
Replacement card. Has
like
been, shoot, I got it. A third, card, third replacement. Yeah, third replacement card. Card may be purchased at the cost of $1.
Well, $2, because you've already spent $2 on them. You've given them $2 worth of grace.
That is accountability, and it gives you a place to go.
Yeah, I mean, and if
Somebody who
it's,
just lives and lives and lives.
you know, and it's still up to you, you know.
Yeah, I think it's
still up to you.
Well, no, I think that it should be there, you know, so that tomorrow we give them to a patron and his current card is no longer usable due to damage or wear.
Yeah, that's different,
That's
you know.
different. Yeah,
That's
they
different.
must be using it a lot.
Okay,
Okay, all right, so checking out policies, okay. All right, upon being issued a new library card, the patron may check up to 25 items, as I put. A guest should present his or her library card in order to check out materials. If the library card is not in his or her possession, leave the library premises until it has been processed. Guests with outstanding fees over I put $5, will not be allowed to check out additional materials. Guests with outstanding fees of over $5 will be blocked from computer use. I think if you let it get up to $20, $30, then people like, well, I can't do that.
I got a little while. Still do it.
Exactly.
Did you mean to skip over library card barcode presented?
We don't do
Okay.
those. So yes, so I took that out because that's not even possible.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't even fully read it.
Yeah, I apologize. Yes.
All right.
I only have one question.
Sure.
Are we doing for each and every card 25 items? So a parent's got 25 items, a child's got 25 items, another child's got 25 items, another child's got 20, you got 100 books. You checked out
By the way,
one family.
so,
And again, like, you know, Jackie said earlier, Colorsville, Westmoreland, you know, they may or may not have that capability. I would love for families to come and check out 100 items.
but
Sure.
my suggestion would be adult cards, because, and that's, I mean, like when I was homeschooling, that's what I had, was the adult. So even if I
But
really
this
need
is
extra,
upon-
my husband could go get it, but,
This is upon being issued a new library card. So that's true, then they come and get, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So children could have a smaller limitation
the patron,
Because the adults in their lives could.
okay, upon issuing a new adult library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. Upon being issued
I hate to be really picky here,
go ahead.
but you really need to put something in there about limiting the number of DVDs.
We do.
All right,
Yep.
long time.
Items.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
5. Upon being issued
For adults.
Yeah, children cannot check out DVDs.
children's, thank you. Children's library card, the patron may check up to 25. So what do we put, there is a limitation of 50 items per family. Is that still too much?
I don't know about that.
Would the Portland Library be able to give 50 items to it? Okay. And then we can put in there, like we did above,
Discretion of the library director.
based
Based on circulation numbers.
Less than, why don't we say 40 and then say to discretion of, and that way it allows for the smallers to be more protective of, like, if they had a lot of families that came in.
Okay.
There are a lot of the smallers that are doing homeschool families, you could very easily be hitting those maxes with a lot of those.
Family may
And I think 40 items is a lot of items.
check
It's a lot of items.
a maximum of 40 items.
I just pictured being the mom. Responsible for 40 items.
More
Okay, sorry.
or
I had a basket, I was gonna say, I had a basket, that's always functions.
may be checked out at the discretion of the library director. Okay, so upon being issued a new adult library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. Upon being issued a new children's library card, the patron may check out up to 25 items. A family may check out a maximum of 40 items. More or less items may be checked out at the discretion of the library director.
So you're saying 25 per child? Card?
Okay, so yes. So because if a child, is like an adult comes in and the child wants to check out 25, then, but they're the only one checking something else. You know what I'm saying? The adult might not be checking out anything.
I just think children have for a child. For a child's card.
But, like, they might be checking it out to take them home to their family. Like, the other children might not have, you know, a library card. Yeah, because like when my mom first took us, it only took one of us, and we checked them all out, and then when we all came back to return them, she bought my brother and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying, 25, and then family could do 40.
Saying 40 for the entire family, why not 15 for the child? 15 and 25 is 40 right there. And then like I said, if the child's there and has more than 15, then they put them on the adult card.
And they can always be to the discretion of, we could say to a maximum of 15, but to the discretion of, it can be increased.
Sounds good to me.
Because if they have a need,
Okay.
then it would be different.
I did that.
Yes,
you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have alerted.
All right, so, all circulating materials may be borrowed for a total of 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Some limitations are placed on the number of materials allowed per library card. Guests may not exceed adult, right? Adult.
It's not
Card.
CDs, but
may not exceed 5, and then,
What about me? 7?
We do 7. We'll change it to 5, if y'all want to, I think.
is 7 working for you?
7 works for us.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And there's also games. Is that correct? Do y'all do
We do 3
games?
games. 3 games.
Yeah, because that's another limitation. We need to put in there.
So, games,
So,
I know,
And when you start that, do it.
oh,
games,
that's why I had a basket. A lot of stuff.
adult card, total, $7. And then games, for child,
Are these deadlines different with games? How long can they be checked out? Same amount of time, too?
We do 2 weeks, but with DVDs and games, they cannot be renewed there for 2 weeks and 2 weeks from now. If we allow people longer than that, they get lost.
Right.
so then we need to put for DVDs and, all circulating, okay. Materials excluding DVDs and games may be borrowed for a total of 3 weeks. DVDs and games may be borrowed with no renewal, for, because, I mean, they should be able to come and renew them if they want to at some point in time for,
Basically, if they want it back again and everything, they bring it back in, we check it in.
Yeah, because they can check it back out.
We just want to verify that they still have it, because you can surprise many times, they'll say, oh, yeah, we got it, no, yeah, we got it. And when they don't, they lost it. So we just want to verify that they still have it.
And that way it would allow somebody had a hold on it, it would hold.
with no automatic renewal?
Correct.
See, that's something more. Automatic renewal. Okay. All right. So, so I think we're gonna take a break here. So, we're gonna thank you, Anita, appreciate your time. So we're gonna bring us back into session. Motion to bring us back into session.
Go. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, all right, and then, I will entertain a motion to take the remaining D, E, F, G, and H, to put into old business,
Yes,
and,
along with,
the circulation policy.
along with mission.
The mission statement.
Yeah, we already did
I'm
that
just
one.
saying. it would
Okay,
be-
yes,
That will all be old business.
so D, E, F, G, and H put into old business,
So moved.
so moved by
I'll
Erica,
second.
okay?
Aye.
Aye.
All those say aye, anybody opposed?
I've already had to take a Tylenol. My brain is bruised.
Okay. All right, and then, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved by Jackie.
Second is.
Second by Erica. All in
Aye.
favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, we have been adjourned.
Yay.
Can you push stop?